Kör på era. Okay, listen. This is a book. This is a big boy book. But what I want to make is a super mega chunky thick boy book. Because how epic would it be to have this wizardy looking tome that actually goes thump when I put it down? Huh? Like an actual thump. But the problem is, it's not gonna be easy. The biggest issue is... Hello? Is this thing on? Okay, thank you. The biggest issue is that all my leather is too small. Like, I can't wrap it around the whole thing. How am I gonna fix that? I don't know. The next problem, all my cool little decoration pieces are way too tiny. Do you see how dumb this looks? Which means everything has to be made from scratch. But let's just begin with the easy stuff. The paper. Folding the paper. I found this gigantic A1 size drawing paper. It was so hard to find, man. I had to go to all the special stores and I had this specially ordered. And this is so big. Look at the size of that paper. I mean, my whole upper body. Ridiculous. So basically what's gonna happen is we fold the paper, stitch the paper together into a nice block, and then we can make the cool cover with all the leather, the metal, all the good stuff. But first, paper time. I've sorted all the paper into these stacks of 4, so now I'm just gonna put some weight on top just to flatten it out. It's been about 24 hours, so let's get this off. I had to use the table because it was the only thing that was flat enough. And some protection. Now that's a stack of paper. That's gonna take so long to stitch. For this size, it kind of has to be that big to be relatively look just correct, but normally I can stitch all the paper together in 5 hours a day, something like that. But with this one, let's put the clock right there and we'll see how long this will take. Step 1, mark some holes. Nice. Step 2, stab. And now step 3, stitch. It's 3.5, almost 4 hours in, and I'm only done with 1/3. Okay, 2 more to go. Can I even carry this thing? Oh, it's so heavy. So far so good. One little thing, the foredge here becomes curved because of the spine, and I would really prefer this edge to just be straight down. So we're gonna chop it, which is harder than it sounds. The thing about cutting the edge in front here is it's very messy and a lot of work. Because I basically have to clamp it down, use a box knife to score and score and score and score and score and score. And when I've done that for a long time, it's gonna be straight, and then I have to sand and sand and sand, and you know how I feel about sanding. But we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it! Bruh, look at that mess. Oh look, we have a floor again. Nice. Shaping's done, and it's far from perfect, but it has the shape I want, and I think it's good enough. While we're at it, let's just add some headbands up here. That looks pretty tight. So 1 down, 1 to go. Text block complete. Man, that took way longer than I thought it would. I mean, it's been like, I don't know, 5 days, 7 days just making this thing. And now with this done, we can do the covers. Since we're trying to do everything to scale here, I have these boards that are 6 millimeter thick, which is a lot thicker than what I would normally use for book covers. But when you put it on there, it makes sense. Oh, it's so soft. Looks pretty good to me. Just gotta chop 1 more and the spine. 4 layers later, and we have this. Very sturdy, all glued together, and I tried to shape it around the spine here. It fits perfectly. So we have a front cover, spine, back cover, but this is a bit plain, so we're gonna do some embossings. Over to the laser. Here we have a nice little 3 millimeter wooden piece. Bada bing, bada boom. And now we need to just cut it. Easy. There's the pattern. Go. And start. Oh no, we gotta turn on the fan. And go. Beautiful. There's layer number 1. Layer 2. Now we just need to glue it. Look at that embossing, baby. Nice. And also the laser cut wood really helped to like stiffen up the boards a little bit. That means we have to address the issue of the leather. See, the thing is, if I grab just any one of these goat hides and I wrap it out here, it's not large enough to cover all 3 pieces, right? But I have a solution that I think might work. I don't know if this was like a thing everywhere, but I remember so vividly from when I was a kid, there were these black notebooks with red corners and red spines everywhere. I don't know, is it just me? But I was basically thinking to copy that design. So if I have a piece of leather on the front, a separate piece of leather on the back, and then a separate piece of leather again on the spine that attaches to the front and back, then we have everything covered in leather. Let's do the back first, just to warm up a bit, then the front and the spine. Okay, so we have leather, water to moisten it up, and glue. Let's go. Worked so well! Seriously, you almost can't even see where it's glued. And I don't think we even need the rivets. Like, this contact glue, solid. Just look at that line. Almost can't see it. Like, you can see it a little bit here. That's it. Covers, check. So now we can start adding some detail on here. First of which is gonna be a nice little stamp that we made with our newfound blender skills. So we basically just 3D modeled it, printed it out, and that's it. And the thing about this is you can't actually like use a mallet and hammer it on like you would with metal stamps. So we basically have to clamp and stamp around the whole thing. So it's time for the clampy stampy. I kind of have to have the text block in here to have something to clamp against. Oh, Jesus freaking oi. And first, moist maker. And now, just gotta soak a bit. Got my clamps. Oh. Is this even tall enough? It's not deep enough. Well, well, well. I see no other option. I'm gonna have to stand on it. I did make a test piece where I stood on it and it worked. A little bit scary though, I have to admit. And also another problem is on one side of the stamp here, it's kind of leaning down, so I have to like wiggle it back and forth. We'll fix it, don't worry, okay. Gentle, oop. Oh, this is so scary. It's a balancing act. No, I moved it with my foot. Try to fix it. There, perfect. I'll put my weight on it. How bad is it? Okay, I mean, I think it's fixable. Just gotta do it again. and try to align it. Try to focus the weight on the spot where there was nothing. Okay. Well, it wasn't that much better. Dang. I think I can come back to it and try to redo it, but for now I just want to try to make like one border down. Well, definitely didn't turn out perfect, and now my feet hurt. There are some places it got a really nice impression, and other places it really didn't. Can I just call it patina? Patina? Patina. Probably not, but I'm thinking since I can actually clamp the rest of it, let's just do that, see how bad it looks, and then we can go from there. I think all the other borders than the one along the spine turned out really nice and crisp. So this being a little off, I'm not too mad about it. I'll just call it weathering. I still have a little more carving to do along the edges and stuff here, so let's just fix that.
Okay, so we're gonna make some ornaments for this book, and I think we should have metal ornaments because metal makes everything better. The problem is I really don't like working with metal, like the threshold is so high. Instead, I'm gonna use 3D printing where the threshold is so low. All you need is a giant 3D printer and a UV curing chamber and loads of cleaning liquids for all the messy goo that you are gonna get all over yourself and your hands. Everything, but once you have all of that, it's no problem. So yeah, I've actually already 3D printed it because you know how that works. I'll probably not open this, but because I need to wear a mask. But here is the centerpiece, the final result. Just kidding, because we're gonna metal plate this. That looks so cute. Oh, Hansi, how are we gonna electroplate this? Oh my, I thought you'd never ask. This is gonna be a 4-step plan. I got it all figured out. So the first step will be this. We have to prime it.
Okay, let's go, priming.
That has to dry for a few hours, so I'll be back. Okay, it's dried. So the next step, which is step 2, paint it with conductive airbrush paint. Now this is paint with metal in it, I think. I'm gonna use the airbrush. So step 3 is to suspend it all in a copper plating solution so that all the copper can attach itself to the metallic paint that we just applied. For that we need some glasses. So all I have to do is to press this button to start. Now we wait. The results are in and it's okay. I mean, it could have been a lot better. It could also been a lot worse. The details are quite hard to get into, and when I made this model, I made a lot of nooks and crevices. Probably should have made it a bit simpler, but you know, Martina has her demands. She wants the aesthetic. We're gonna try to move on and gold plate this, which is gonna be so much easier. Okay, so for the gold plating, I have this gold pen and this plating solution. Now the idea is I dip the pen in the solution. Oh, don't go down there, no. I lost it. Okay, we're back. So I recovered the tip, we put the tip on the metal, and we have this wire on the other end that we just hold on the metal, and it makes it conductive, and the gold just plates on where you brush it. This is so cool. For the spots we're missing, we just have to cover it up with some paint or something.
And now, before we move on, it's time for an ad for Displate. Displate creates these beautiful, one-of-a-kind metal posters designed to capture your unique passions. They have a huge variety of different designs available, both from individual artists such as the Cityscapes collection by Anami or Neo-Funky Pop Art by Hey Moonly, and official brands like Marvel, Stranger Things, Star Wars, Elden Ring, The Witcher, Dungeons and Dragons, and the list goes on. So I recently wanted to spice up my room a bit, so I got these super pretty posters from the Magic Japan collection by Yagadan, and they really changed the whole room. And what's cool is if I want to replace them later, I can just pop them off the wall and put up a new one. Super easy. They're also super easy to attach to any wall. You just wipe it down, put on a protective sticker, put the magnet on top, and that's it. Like, no screws needed, nothing. So if you think this sounds interesting, make sure to check out the link down in the description to get a discount on Displate today. And back to the project. So while Hans has been working on all these awesome metal ornaments, I have been working on some belts. I've basically made all these decorative belts along the spine here, and you can see I've riveted everything in place, and if I open it, you see I kind of had to drill in quite far because the board is so thick to even get it in place. And also there's a little bit of glue behind here, so they're really just stuck in there. I've also made these buckle straps, and see how pretty this brass is. But I'm not gonna fasten them just yet because I'm gonna stain everything first. And really, that's all that's left to do. Stain the leather and apply all the metal ornaments. Oh my god, it's so close to done! Let's finish this! Finally. But now comes the final moment that I've been waiting for since the beginning of this entire project. The one thing I wanted to even make this book for. The thumb test. First we just gotta lift it. And then drop it. Okay. 3, 2, 1. No. The whole floor just went shaking. It's okay, Nori. Nori got scared. Yes, it's okay. Don't worry. It was just a book. Okay? I love it. Now the question is just what do I do with it? I've no idea. Please help me. Comment down below. Now, before we take a closer look, just 2 quick things. First of all, we are going to make our central in Birmingham and open sauce in San Francisco. So if you want to meet us, be there. I'll leave a link to both events down below. And second of all, I know it's been a long time since we posted anything because we took a 1-week holiday, which was so amazing and very much needed. Yeah, I just want to thank you all so much for continuing to support us through watching our videos while we're away, even if we're not posting as much. And of course, a huge thank you to our patrons for continuing to support us. You guys are just amazing, and it still baffles me that we can do this for a living and people want to support it. So thank you so much. And if you want to join us as a patron, you get a couple of perks, like our Behind the Forge series, where we answer your questions about our projects and do other things. And also you get early access and extended versions of our videos, occasionally. And finally, if you subscribe from the Apprentice tier and up, we also have a bookbinding course where you can learn to do this. Check it out if you want to. I'll leave a link to it down below. Now let's open this thing. Oh. That's one nice motion. Now let's just see how flat does it lay. My god, do you see how flat that is? I mean, it's probably the weight, because of course it just flattens out because it's so heavy, but so nice, so flat. Oh. And my god, these pages are huge. What are you supposed to put on them? That means it is time. Let's have a look at the final result!